digital media, and curriculum integration. Here are the objectives that will be covered in this presentation. We will explain technology integration. We will describe the use of computers in computer labs and media centers versus classroom instruction. We will identify ways in which technology can positively influence learning. We will name and define the elements of digital media. And we will describe and explain curriculum standards and learning benchmarks. We will also describe in detail how to get started using technology at a new school. We will also identify ways to form a technology plan for integration. We will also explain various planning tools and instruction models, and we will describe in detail the steps of the Assure model. Copyright and fair use. Certain materials that are included in this presentation have been prepared according to the Educational Multimedia Fair Use Guidelines and are restricted from further use. Technology is an essential part of education. Technology must be integrated properly to ensure that it meets curriculum standards. Technological components such as software and hardware are being brought into the educational environment each day. Primarily, the usage of technology in the classroom helps to enhance the learning of students and helps meet the curriculum standards of the educational system. Integration of technology is very difficult. It requires training and practice operating. A technology is only as good as the user who operates it. Proper teaching and correct adaptation to the curriculum will help to make technology a tool rather than a burden. A computer lab is a place separate from the main classroom where students go, where there is a group of computers and they do all their assignments together in groups. These computers are maintained as a unit. They are cheaper to maintain that way and they are easier for schools to afford. However, computers are more adaptable and more interactive in the classroom. They make it easier for students and teachers to maintain the educational environment that they have created in their classroom without ever having to leave it. This is essential in teaching students to express themselves as well as learn new things and discover new technologies. This is essential to their growth and their long-term health and overall success. Cloud computing allows students to reach a wide range of information on their network, sharing files with computers among other students in the school as well as on their school server. This cloud computing makes it easier for students and teachers to share their resources and share what they have learned with each other. Technology should work with you, with what you're teaching to influence learning. If you're a teacher and you're teaching a lesson about lions, tigers in Africa, then you may open up and play an educational video on lions, tigers from Africa to help the students engage, and they will be learning about a lion and a tiger. They will see a lion and a tiger. The visualization created by the technology helps the brain to focus and remember what it has learned. This interaction is why technology is so important. This is why it has such a huge influence on learning, because the students interact with the technology and this helps them to learn. Technology is the ultimate learning tool. Another main way that technology can influence learning is communication. Students across the world, through the use of technology, now have the ability to share their academic thoughts and share their ambitions, their academic desires, their academic prospects with each other from halfway across the globe. Different nationalities, different races, different ethnicities. They can all share thoughts, ideas, thus creating a beautiful environment for learning. This is what technology does. Digital media is videos, articles, advertisement, music, podcast, audiobooks, virtual reality, or digital art. As technologies allow usage and creation of forms of interaction, expression, communication, and entertainment, all in digital format, the term digital media simply underlines the persuasiveness of the use of digital formats in multimedia elements. The terms multimedia and technology are interchangeable with digital media. Technology is a term originally used for computers in classroom. Technology was a form of high-tech training, specialized training for graphic design, as well as other advanced artwork. More than one media is the definition of multimedia. Multimedia allows the user access to different forms of digital media. Multimedia includes text, graphics, video, and animation. It can also include a slideshow, audio provided by a tape recorder, and as well as a projector to use for text. Software innovations can also help to handle the operations of more than one media at a time. Curriculum standards are basic standards set by local and federal governments to ensure that students are getting the education that they deserve. The standards must be met at the minimum level to ensure students receive the proper learning and education. A benchmark is simply a learning objective or a learning expectation. Benchmarks are specific with measurable outcomes that are tied directly to curriculum standards. Education departments give schools handbooks that describe benchmarks and curriculum standards. The handbooks are curriculum frameworks, curriculum guides, and/or curriculum maps. Frameworks usually include specific subject standards, learning expectations, direction for content areas, performance indicators, benchmarks, activities, and other forms of evaluation. Curriculum integration is best implemented by teachers who are properly trained. Teachers should make technology easy to access. There are strategies that can develop an environment to learn. Students should be encouraged to learn independently and take responsibility for their personal education. A technology plan outlines a specific school district and provides them with strategies and goals for maintenance, software, and training. Consistency and equal usage time are for learners, and it is important for integration of technology to be successful in a new school. Coordination among school districts help educators to ensure that students on one side of the county are getting the same technology and same education as students on the other side of the county. This is a proper plan for technology integration. In order to properly integrate a technology into your school or your classroom, the first step is to determine what that technology is. Then you need to secure and schedule provided adequate training for all the educators that will be using it. Then you must have classroom guidance daily to help implement the software for the students as well as the teacher. This is a basic technology integration plan that can be used to be successful in integrating a technology into a new school. A teacher's workshop in-house can provide an opportunity to demonstrate how the technology is used. This will help teachers and faculty to be prepared for the integration of the technology. Students can be invited to the pilot day of the integration at the school. This will help them to be engaged and to learn what type of technology they will be using for their education. They can also take some time to study the different hardwares and different softwares that they will be using. This will help them become more engaged and more familiar with their educational tools. There are three types of instructional models that are very important to the educational system. KWL charts track what the scholar knows, what he wants to know, and what he has learned. KWHL charts is an alternative to the KWL charts. It is still an instructional planning tool, but it adds a whole nother level to its measurement of learning by adding the concept of how students learn. The Assure model was developed in the 1990s, and it is a well-known guide used to deepen any instructional lesson. The assurance model takes the information that is known about the learner, combines that with the objectives stated by the learner. This shows the overall outcome that should occur. It helps to identify their skill, their grade level, their academic level, helps identify which learning style will help educate them the best. It also helps to show what the learner's goals are and how you, as a teacher, may be able to help them to reach those goals. This is why the assurance model is essential to learning and processing. Another important aspect of the assurance model is to be sure that you use the right methods, the right media, the right material. These should be identified at the beginning of the lesson and should be integrated specifically for each individual student according to their learning needs. This is a very hard thing to figure out exactly which tools are appropriate. However, once done properly, the student's education should excel. The last essential part of the Assure model is learner participation. Students and learners must be interactive. They must get involved. Sitting in their chairs doing reading and writing is not helpful for their education. It's not helpful for their brains. Their brains need to be stimulated. They need to be involved and interacted in their education. This is the whole point of the Assure model and technology as a whole. Engagement. The students need to be more involved in their learning. This is the whole point of the assurance model. The assurance model is a learning tool. The assurance model can help you to be aware that every opportunity should be used as a learning opportunity. It can help you determine what you learned. It can help determine your strengths, your weaknesses, as well as using the SWOT and evaluation to adequately analyze your performance. And then you can repeat this whole process for every learning opportunity. This is a great model that helps to teach students and better their lives. A study from the University of South Africa showed the challenges faced by teachers attempting to integrate technology into the classroom of a developing country. The country is faced with many difficulties and face resistance in incorporating the technology into the school. After the urging of school officials, technology gradually began to be integrated into the school. This is some of the challenges that are faced in the real world by everyday people as they attempt to change how they learn and how they are educated. Technology is the key. The study's participants included 9 teachers and 48 students. These students were from different schools, and 16 from each of the 3 schools involved in the study, one of those schools being private as well as 2 being public. Teachers were 3 teachers were taken from each school and 16 students from each school. They were all integrated and prepared for this study. The study used focus groups, discussions, observations, and review of documents written by the participants to help determine the results. Unfortunately, the outcome of this study showed the lack of infrastructure for technology integration in third world countries. Schools do not have the funds to integrate the technology, nor do they have the mental capacity to use the technology. This is a lack of training and a lack of fundings that should be provided for those countries. People need education. People need technology. This study shows just how much the rest of the world needs help. I would like to thank everyone for their hard work and for all their research into creating this PowerPoint, and I hope that technology will be an important part of my future as well as all of our futures. Thank you.